Thank you everybody for coming, and a happy birthday to all of you and years of good health to come. This is what the Order of Ikamanga looks like. Ikamanga is in Xhosa and Zulu, name of the Strelitzia flower, of which there's 2 on the middle, and there's another UCT connection. In the center there is a ceramic head found at Leidenburg, which is dated to 1,500 years old, and it was excavated by UCT archaeology professor Nick van der Merwe and his students during the 1970s. I was in the African Studies tea room at the time, and so heard bits about it over there. Descent into necropolis. These guardians of the underworld. This ceremony of the antechamber. They baptize me for their afterlife. M4-85. They anoint my hands in printer's ink. Enjoin my epidermis, leave your autograph. My sarcophagus, 2 by 2.5 meters. Thickness of its walls from the fingertips to the elbow. The inner lid, 5 rods of steel. The outer lid, a metal slab sealed 14 hours a day.
You just, as it were, paused one short sentence in that dedication. And I think you've demonstrated something about the way you think and how much is concentrated in something apparently quite simple in your poetry, which isn't simple at all. You know, you have the gift of mining heroic or tragic images out of the most unlikely material. I think of that last stanza of the Titanium Monument poem, which, even though there's irony in it, that edge of irony, I found it stirring, a salute to the pioneers of space flight. And then also that very moving elegy to the astronauts who died in the Challenger and Columbia explosions. So the point I've been trying to make behind all the points I'm making is that I think you're the least derivative poet I've ever come across. Even though you do acknowledge your sources and you have, a wide range of sources, all poets do. I can't think of any other poets who write the way you do. And I'd say that's a quality to cherish. And nothing more says it more than your poem First Light, which is a praise poem to a telescope. Admittedly a very big telescope. So you've united your admiration of African culture with your admiration of science and technology. So there we are. Thank you, Keith, for being the poet you are.
I think that having known Keith for so many years, it feels like forever, what has always struck me is your diverse passions and interests. And I think it would be interesting for all of us to know what drove your passion for social justice.
I suppose it was a chasm that I confronted between the ethics that we taught in Geda and in newspapers, and the reality of apartheid with its racism and its repression all around us, the horror of the pass laws, the forced mass removal of 3 million people, that over 1 million wives were forbidden to live with their husbands under the pass laws, and all those associated injustices, the malnutrition that up to 100,000 children a year would die of kwashiorkor or other malnutrition because their mothers and they were endorsed out and dumped in the bars of Sadi Lingui and other resettlement camps, so-called, where there was no jobs, no employment.
It's just been amazing to just be with Keith and to really try and steer the ship around and make it work. And we're trying to get a lot more young people involved and revitalize it. For me, it's about giving back. Poetry and UCT and New Contrast have been particularly good to me in my growth as a poet. And now, sort of as the senior people, as the elders, we're trying to revitalize it. And it's just such a privilege. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to work with this man.
Thank you, Mr. Keith, for being really inspiring. When you answered Ms. Diane's question on how you can help young leaders, it really inspired me a lot. I'm a poet myself, and literature is something that I find helps me. It helps me know more about myself and dive deep into the world. So I just wanted to say thank you for being so inspiring, and may you continue to be inspiring.